Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday again. As bad as it is to be a Monday, hey, at least you got Mondays with Max, right? Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all. Appreciate you guys all for being here. I don't know. What? What do you mean it's all screwed up? Can you guys hear me at all? How is the sound? I'm not muted.
You have to turn it up like super loud.
Okay. It's because it's on the wrong mic. Hold on a second. I don't know why it does this occasionally. How does that sound? Does it sound better? Does it sound better now? Why does it do this? Hold on a second. This is really strange. Sorry, guys. Bear with me here 1 second. What the heck is going on? So I don't know if anybody knows OBS, but your volume thing should be in blue. And for some reason, my mic is not in blue. And I don't know why. I don't have it set to that. I don't have it set to the microphone on my headset. Hang on a second. Let me disable this real quick. All right. That didn't seem to change anything. Sorry, guys. What the heck is going on here? Ugh, I don't know why it's doing this. Hang on a second. Let me change to a different shot real quick and see if it changes anything. No, the microphone still is goofy. You can hear me now? So you guys can all hear me fine now? Okay, let me change back to the other shot. Okay, how is it now? Is it still okay? Still sound okay? It was always fine. Okay. Okay. That's weird. All right, I'm going to put the earphone back in and see, because otherwise it's going to be a real pain when I go to play the video. And hope that sounded great the whole time. Okay. All right. Thought I had a malfunction. It definitely looks a little bit weird in OBS right now. But all right, well, good, because I looked at the volume and I'm like, it looks fine. So, all right, cool. All right, well.
Now it sounds like ass.
Are you serious?
It's like super tinny and stuff now, so it's obviously coming through your headphone.
Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. All right, I'm sure it sounds fine now. Is it good now? Is it better now? I'm pretty sure it's better now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because when I was switching it around, I changed it to default, and when you put this on, the default changes to the headset. So, all right. Well, that was fun. That was fun. Well, I hope you guys are all doing well. Let's go right into things, and let me see who is here. We have Crypto Teeter. I can't even talk tonight. Crypto Tito, Fiddler, Dan Bulmer, Burn, Lestadog C57, Automatic Beats, Aragorn Strider. Oh, that's interesting doing it this way. Aragorn Strider, Caw Valley Crypto, Steven Cicero, Tails, Dom G, Vinny Del Greco. Let's see. The Toxic Miner, Crypto MB, 4J, J Rose, Bleach, Digital Ghost. Let's see who else is here. Mad Investor. Good to see you, sir. And Golden Wolf. Not sure if I said Dakota Miner yet, but Dakota Miner is here in case I have not. T Mining, Mr. Pringle. Let's see. Who else? Well, if I missed anybody else, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Sunflower Mama, of course, is here. Dr. T, Canadian Miner. And if I missed anybody, I do apologize. But appreciate you guys all being here. And so I figured we'll just talk a little bit about the market before the stream starts, and anything you guys want to talk about. I'll talk about a few other things that I got going on personally, and then we'll get going on it. So let me switch over to. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Geek of All Trades. Good to see you, sir. Anyway, actually, one of the things I will give Geek of All Trades a little bit of credit for. But before we do that, let's talk about the market. Bitcoin finally made it over 100,000 again. So we're at 102,000. That's good to see. Up 10% over the last 7 days. Think it's the last time? Do you think you missed the chance to get any more Bitcoin below 100,000? Could be. Not sure. But definitely good to see it over 100,000 again. Ethereum sitting at 3,700. XRP at 241. XRP up over 18% in the last week. Then we've got Solana being up over 15%. That's finally good to see some life back into that. I was getting a little worried there for a bit. Let's see. We got Dogecoin up over 26% over the last week. I mean, everything's up a little bit today. Cardano's up 27%. That was definitely good to see. Let's see. Avalanche up about 25% over the last 7 days. Swede about the same amount. We've definitely had a good week. Since last Monday, it's been good. It's been good. I have zero complaints. Well, I suppose I could. Let me, you know what? I'm going to switch to the other screen really quick while I log in. So bear with me here 1 second while I do this. If I can remember. Oh, it did it automatically. That's cool. And then I want to switch to my watch list. There we go. So we can get to some mining coins as well. Let me switch back. All right. Yeah, Polkadot's up 17%. That was good to see. I own a little bit of that. You know, actually speaking of Polkadot, so I try to keep as much as I can, obviously, in hardware wallets. One thing that did frustrate me a bit about EliPal is they say, yeah, you can stake Polkadot, but they don't ever state like how much you need until you've like gotten to the very, 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 very end of the process. So the process is that you go in, you say how much you want to stake, and then you have to actually select like 16 different like staking pools. And then once you've done that, it then says, oh no, you can't stake. You don't have 250 Polkadot. There is nowhere I could find where that is documented that you need 250 Polkadot in order to stake on EliPal. If you're staking on Coinbase, there is no limit. You can stake, you know, very, very little. Like I said, there's no minimum in order to stake. So anyway, so I had basically unstaked on Coinbase, thinking I can move it to EliPal, and I only have about 100 of Polkadot. So can't do it. I got to decide whether or not I want to move it up to 250 or just not stake at all. So anyway, but that was just something I found out about Polkadot recently. And Chainlink, I mean, just pretty much everything is doing well. Litecoin up 16% over the last 7 days, up to 114. Render up over 30%. Nice. Ethereum Classic 15%. And actually, FET I had invested in a little bit, just a little, you know, less than $200 worth. But that's up 25%. That was good to see. Filecoin's coming to life, 23% up. Algorand doing well, almost 30% up. Caspa, come on, man. Show some life. Have some pride. That's a bit of a disappointment. Definitely a bit of a disappointment. Falling down the charts. And now that we're into 2025 and I don't have a bet on the line, yes, I can cheer for Caspa. I own Caspa, so definitely cheering for Caspa. And Jupiter up 19%. God, I want to see that back over $1 again, though. There is an airdrop for Jupiter, but this time around, I know not everybody's going to qualify. I have Jupiter staked, and I doubt I'm going to get much this time. Yeah. Oh, Vinny. So you know what? I did not even check my investment account today. So I have no idea where it's at right now. I'm going to check to see where MSTR is right now. Because, man, it was down like around 300 last time I had checked. Let's see where it's at. Come on. Up, getting close to 400. It's a 380. That's nice. Good to see that. Definitely good to see that. But yeah, I own like 23. Not a whole heck of a lot. But yeah, I took some of the stuff that I had in my IRA and decided instead of being in a Bitcoin ETF, I would move some of it to MSTR. Right now, I would have been better off keeping it in Bitcoin, but time will tell. Time will tell. Helium kind of doing about the same as good old Caspa. Not doing a whole heck of a lot. Let's see what else. Hive Mapper, Flux is up 13%. Not bad. Not bad at all. Lithium back down in the dumps. When everything else is up, it's down. And Demo not doing so hot, staying flat. Would like to see that back up in the 20s, which was where it was. Dynex showing a little bit of life. And then we get into these. Nexa, Radiant, Pre-Search. Oh, that threw me off. Give me a second. Suddenly the live stream came to life. So all of a sudden I'm hearing it in my ear. Anyway, let me get back to this. I was like, what is that? And then can somebody explain to me how Pyron, which supposedly is an abandoned project, is up 25%? Does anybody know why? And Neox is up 10%. So it's been hit so hard that 10% doesn't really mean much, but hopefully it'll get somewhere in the bull run. Does anybody know why Pyron's doing well? I had not kept track of that at all. If anybody knows, please put it in the chat. All right. I'm fired, huh? Okay. Oh, you're telling me to focus on the viewers. Got it. I was MSTR making moves. I saw what Vinny said. And yeah, good old Geek of All Trades. It's a fucking goat. All right. Heck, nobody's chatted anything in over a minute. So what are you talking about, Joker? What you talking about? Anyway, that's where the markets are. So yeah, we got about 12 minutes until the keynote. So one of the things I was going to share was I've been I've been hinting that there's going to be a job change in my future, and there most likely will be. Nothing's been finalized, but one of the things I did do over Christmas, I had a lot of time to kind of think and watch videos and things like that. But one of the things I did, there was a particular YouTuber, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, doesn't matter. He basically talks about remote jobs. And one of the things that caught my eye was the job of being a data analyst and all the jobs that are kind of branch out from that, data engineering, and there's another one, data science, those three. And I was like, yeah, those actually are really interesting to me. So right now I'm in the process of actually going through the Google Data Analytics certification. So I am hopefully going to be done with that in a little over a month, maybe by mid-February is what I'm thinking. We'll have to wait and see. Like the early modules are like super easy. They're so basic. They're talking about spreadsheets. I know spreadsheets very, very well. So a lot of that stuff I could just totally like skim and just move right through very, very quickly. But now they're starting to get into some things that, while not foreign in concept, you have to understand and remember the structure, because all of the questions are based upon that structure. So it's just a matter of learning the new terminology that they're using for doing what I've done in pretty much every job. I mean, pretty much any job anybody has, you're gonna do a certain amount of data analytics. But in most jobs, that data analytics is more towards the end of that, as opposed to the beginning, where you're defining the problem and trying to figure out how to gather the data in order to solve that problem. A lot of times what we do in day in and day out is just, well, we know where the data is, and we have a simple calculation problem type of thing where we download the data and then manipulate it to get the answer that we're looking for. It's still data analytics, but it's not like the full from beginning to end type of thing. But it was one of the things that, as I was thinking about this, it's something I really, really enjoyed doing, is, finding kind of needles in the haystack of interesting things to find in data that are not necessarily expected. So anyway, that is what I am currently working on. Let's see what other comments you guys might have, other than Joker trying to fire me. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash says, I know, right? I deleted all my Pyron flight sheets and now it's pumping. I thought it was a dead project. Yeah. I don't get it. Oh yeah. And the Bears beat the Packers. Mark yesterday in history, because who knows how long it's going to be until that happens again. The Packers had nothing to win. They were playing their second stringers, and Bears fans are rejoicing by beating the second string team. And the Bears should have lost, because now they hurt their chances for getting a better draft pick. Yeah. I'm conflicted. I didn't feel real good. I didn't feel like I normally would at the end of a Bear game when they won, like with a last second field goal. It should bring me joy. It did not bring me joy. It definitely did not. The Bears won the Super Bowl. Well, they won their Super Bowl. It still was honestly a waste. That win meant 0. It meant 0 to the Packers. It meant 0 to the Bears. So at least they made it entertaining, even though it meant nothing. Let's see. Bacon, Eggs, Ash, I kind of just thought the Pyron devs were sailing on their big sailboat they bought from all their money. Possibly. Turtle Tech, I have to admit, I am rooting for the Lions. I really like Dan Snyder and the attitude of the players, and it honestly reminds me, I know it goes back many, many, many years, but it honestly reminds me of the 86 Bears. The whole, I don't care what other people think, this is what we're doing, and the players are all bought into it, and it's a little different than the way other players would do it, but they challenge their players. I don't know. I really like what he's done with that team, and you can tell the players love to play for him, and not because he's a necessarily just a player's coach. It's just the fact that they've all bought into what he's trying to do and made them all believers. So anyway, Retro Mike, proof that projects don't need leaders. They just need open source code, and the vision will always live on. Well, the question is, who's doing the development then? That's the question. Dr. T, I heard Bears wanting to interview Mike McCarthy for head coach. I have not heard that. That was today. That would be interesting. I can think of worse coaches for them to interview. I would like to see them hire somebody who's been a head coach before and actually won a winning program. I don't care whether they won a Super Bowl. This is the next step. We need a coach that knows how to teach people to win, week in and week out. Yeah, that's my opinion anyway. Yusuf puts, the Bears are dopes, just like New England went from first pick to fourth. Oh yeah, I totally agree. Like all these teams that were worsening their draft picks won this weekend. I don't get it. Why are these guys winning? It makes no sense. Maybe the draft is just weak, or maybe there's everybody top 10. There's really not much of a difference. So people don't really care necessarily who they get in the top 10, especially if you don't need a quarterback. Obviously the Bears didn't need a quarterback. So I don't know. All I can say is the Bears better pick an edge rusher or an offensive lineman. And I'd definitely be leaning towards an offensive lineman. They have basically one decent offensive lineman. That's it. The rest are jamokes. Let's see. So the beauty of open source is that anyone can contribute code and the community can vote on what gets applied to production environment. I mean, Retro Mike, is that what's going on? Is there actually development still occurring with Pyron? Like I said, I have not kept track of the project at all since. Let's see. Yusuf, wait a minute. Yusuf, that was mostly Mike Ditka. Oh, yeah. There will never be another 85-86 Bears. You're right. There probably will never be. Well, there definitely won't be because players can't hit like that anymore. So that definitely won't happen. But you're right. But like I said, Detroit Lions do remind me of that type of attitude, which I think is cool. Not sure. Sanders first pick QB. He may be. I haven't really been keeping track, but I don't think he compares in maturity to the round of quarterbacks that were in this draft. He's going to need a few years to, I think, mature in the NFL. You're not going to have like a Phillip Daniels, arguably Caleb Williams, although most of his stats were during garbage time. You've got the guy in Atlanta that did well once he finally came in, and then you've got Bo in Denver that's done pretty well. Although the only winning team, maybe they had one other winning team that they actually beat, but Denver hasn't really beaten much good temes. Sam Fisher says, "Are you currently using Salad AI?" Yes, I am. I have to log back. Yeah, it's going to take me a while to log back into this. But yes, I am. Was doing better today than it had been doing in previous days. I kind of wonder if the guys went on vacation for the holiday and then weren't still selling jobs. And that's why the jobs kind of just ran out. I mean, I had periods of time where nothing was happening, but today it really kind of picked back up to almost normal. So I'm kind of curious to see how it goes over the next few days to see if it goes back to normal. Yeah, I guess I can embiggen my face because, well, I'm going to not embiggen my face in a bit because we're about ready to start the keynote. Let's see. Amplifier Gaming says, "What's up, Max? How you living?" I'm living good. I am still trying to lose weight. I'm not gaining weight anymore, but it's definitely slowed down quite a bit. I have been trying to eat keto, and but have made some unintentional missteps along the way. Having, believe it or not, too many vegetables, because too many vegetables can actually put you over the 20 grams of carbs for the day. And you're supposed to stay below 20 grams of carbs in order to stay in ketosis. So I think I've been kind of hovering like right on the border of it. And so I need to start paying a little bit more attention to my carbs. Yes, vegetables have carbs. They do. But again, they have less. And if you're going to eat anything, vegetables are the right thing to eat. Obviously, fruits, for the most part, have way too many carbs. But I mean, I'm just thinking about like when you eat a salad, that was a problem. Plus, this weekend I had a little bit of a sore throat, sinus issues. So was having honey and apple cider vinegar, which I know has carbs in it, but it was good for what I needed it to do this weekend to get rid of that. And for the most part, it is gone. So, so just things like that. But the good thing is I've lost 25 pounds, a little over 25 pounds. I am almost at having lost 10% of my body weight. And I got to lose a lot more, guys, though. You guys probably can't even tell that I've lost weight just because I was so heavy, and just takes a while to see it. So, all right, let me check on the it's still not on, so I'll just wait because I'm sure there'll be a lot of rambling in the very beginning. So thanks, Turtle Tech. I appreciate it. You're just saying that Yusuf puts, I'm tall, so the weight kind of spreads out a bit, but it's weighing way too much. Need to get healthier. Get a haircut. That'll drop a few pounds. Yeah, and probably in about another 2 weeks, I'll need a haircut, but not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Let's see. Amplifier gave me, I believe in you. Don't worry too much about the day-to-day numbers on the scale, just the average. I believe in you. I appreciate that. I know, but it's, I try not to focus when the weight goes up or doesn't move. But it does feel good when you like get on the scale one day and you're like, whoa, I'm 1.5 pounds lighter today. Where did that come from? So that's always nice. That's always nice. Yeah, Weight Watchers works. Mine is a little bit more, I don't want to say complicated, but I have insulin resistance. So I'm trying to get that under control. And it's definitely a lot more in control than it was. I had like bloated ankles, basically, like lower legs, and all that puffiness is almost completely gone. So that's a very, very good thing. Anyway, Jackson Digital. My dad says I'm too thin. I'm sure if you've been that weight most of your life, then you're not too thin. That's for sure. Let's see. Pre-diabetes. Yeah, most likely, yes. I've been measured where my blood glucose level was in the pre-diabetic area. I think my last doctor's appointment, which was actually a few years ago, was not in the pre-diabetic level, believe it or not. But it definitely wasn't in the diabetic. But Budweiser does not work. Yes, Aragorn. No, not it's the other word. It's the other word. I'm sure I've been saying a lot because I'm trying not to say the other word. Yes, I need to start exercising more. Actually, when I go to work, at least I walk. Amplifier gave me 15.5 BMI. That's a good weight. That's a very good weight. Yeah, I'm still above 30. So ways to go. Ways to go. All right. It is still not on. And then I'll have to make sure that I turn the desktop audio on. Okay. What else do you guys want? You just want to go to the, the stream. Joker Miner says, I didn't want to lose anything. +1 dead beats. Okay, I'm not sure what Joker Miner was referring to. Oh, got it. Okay. Amplifier Gaming, you planning to attend any of the crypto events for this year? I might go to the BTC conference. I am not planning on going this year just because I have no idea what the employment situation is going to be. So yeah, not planning on going to anything this year. Plus, nobody's offered to pay me to go this year either. So, if somebody did, might revisit it. But for right now, no, not planning to go this year. Retro Mike Joker. Private key is stored in a file and will persist uninstalls, assuming you are using desktop. All right. Red Panda Mining is here. Oh, wait a minute. It just started. Give me a second. Do that.
It's because tech doesn't just solve challenges. It transforms them into opportunities. It helps us move smarter, live healthier, and experience the world in ways we never thought possible. We are not just here for a tech event. We're here to connect, to solve, to discover, together. Tech isn't just advancing, it's uniting. Bringing us closer to an autonomous future. Connecting us to better care. Making life more connected, more dynamic, and more human. Today's challenges demand bold solutions, and CES is where they start to take shape. Breakthroughs in sustainability, advancements to help feed our growing world.
Cool.
This week isn't just a stage for breakthroughs, it's the spark for discovery. Every screen, every pixel, every part of the tech you will see here showcases the extraordinary potential of human ingenuity meeting technological power. Now we begin this celebration of what connects us, has the power to solve our greatest challenges, and offers endless possibilities we're yet to discover.
I agree. Tech,
right here,
making money.
Right now.
I agree.
The world is watching.
Why would I turn anything
so
on?
Let's
I guess I shouldn't say
dive
that. I have
in.
a NAS downstairs that's running that isn't making me money, although it kind of is. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CES 2025. I'm Gary Shapiro, CEO and Vice Chairman of the Consumer Technology Association, the producer of CES, and I am so thrilled to kick off this show with a keynote by one of the most consequential companies in the world. Nvidia exemplifies the cutting-edge innovation we celebrate at CES. And founder and CEO Jensen Huang is a true visionary, demonstrating the power of ideas, technology, and conviction to drive innovation and reshape our industry and our society.
I'm not talking, Joker.
I always like to say that if I'd listened a little bit more closely the last time Jensen spoke at a CTA event, I could have retired already. But over the past 3 decades, he has established Nvidia as a force driving change across the globe in industries ranging from healthcare to automotive and entertainment. Today, Nvidia is pioneering breakthroughs in AI and accelerated computing that touch nearly every person and every business. Thanks to his leadership, Nvidia's innovations enable advanced chatbots, robots, software-defined vehicles, huge virtual worlds, hyper-synchronized factory floors, and so much more. Huang has been named the world's best CEO by Fortune and The Economist, as well as one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. But you know, the fact is, like for all of us in this room, our success and his success was not preordained. Jensen started out working at a Denny's as a dishwasher and a busboy, so be nice to them in the future.
He's looking at
And he said
prompter,
that the lessons he's learned there, the value of hard work, humility, and hospitality are what helped him keep the faith and persevere through some of NVIDIA's early challenges. In just a few minutes, we'll hear from NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang on his unwavering vision of the future
NVIDIA or
and where
NVIDIA?
we're headed next. Stay tuned and have a great CES.
Wouldn't it be funny if this guy who just introduced him can't pronounce the name of the company correctly? Or maybe I've just been pronouncing it wrong all along. Okay. You just got introduced. You should be ready to come on. This is not suspenseful. This is just annoying.
At this time, please take a moment to silence your devices. Our event is about to begin.
What was that? You're going. Where are you going, Geek of all trades? Where you going, goat? That would actually be a question for either King or Chump. I'm not an investor in silver myself. You know the 5090 and the 5080 stuff's going to be towards the end, you know. Well, have fun on your work trip. Okay, people had plenty of time to silence their phones. Let's go. What do I think about it? I actually think it's a smart business decision. That's where you make your money. Don't make your money on the high-end cards. Now, Nvidia is a little bit different in the fact that their high-end cards are their like server cards, and that their high-end consumer cards are now just kind of coming from that. So I don't know, it's just a different business model. I think it makes sense. They will gain a lot more share that way, I think. Anyway, who wants to read that really quick? Should I take a screenshot? Interesting. It's really weird because the actual music coming through the stream is different than what's actually there. Because you can hear like some music in the background that's what's actually at the show. Come on, man, it's almost 8:45 and you haven't even come on yet. This is not good. Gaming with Smoky Dan. I bet they stuck in the toilet. Yeah, we need more low-end cards. I miss the days of AMD $69 GPUs. He's tripping over his stacks of cash. I wouldn't doubt it. Yes, I am talking. Yeah, thanks, Dan.
This is how intelligence is made.
AI is still generating a speech.
A new kind of factory. Generator of tokens. The building blocks of AI. Tokens have opened a new frontier, the first step into an extraordinary world, where endless possibilities are born.
Some foremost, they probably need to restart the computer.
Tokens transform words into knowledge and breathe life into images. They turn ideas into videos and help us safely navigate any environment. Tokens teach robots to move like the masters. Inspire new ways to celebrate our victories.
A martini, please.
Turning right up.
Thank you, Adam.
and give us peace of mind when we need it most.
Hi, Maroka. Hi, Anna. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Emma. We're gonna take your blood sample today, okay?
Don't worry, I'm gonna be here the whole time.
They bring meaning to numbers to help us better understand the world around us.
Weather balloon.
Predict the dangers that surround us. And find cures for the threats within us. Tokens can bring our visions to life and restore what we've lost.
Zachary, I got my voice back, buddy.
They help us move forward, one small step at a time. And one giant leap together. And here is where it all begins.
Welcome to the stage, NVIDIA founder and CEO, Jensen Huang.
Welcome to CES! Are you excited to be in Las Vegas? Do you like my jacket?
Oh, Jesus.
I thought I'd go the other way from Gary Shapiro. I'm in Las Vegas after all. If this doesn't work out, if all of you object, well, just get used to it. I really think you have to let this sink in. In another hour or so, you're going to feel good about it. Well, welcome to NVIDIA. In fact, you're inside NVIDIA's digital twin. And we're going to take you to NVIDIA. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NVIDIA.
Yeah, he says
You're
NVIDIA, not NVIDIA.
Our digital twin. Everything here is generated by AI. It has been an extraordinary journey, extraordinary year, and it started in 1993.
Ready, go!
With NV1, we wanted to build computers that can do things that normal computers couldn't. And NV1 made it possible to have a game console in your
Not
PC.
wrong, Red Panda.
Our programming architecture was called UDA, missing the letter C until a little while later, but UDA, Unified Device Architecture. And the first developer for UDA and the first application that ever worked on UDA was Sega's Virtual Fighter.
Sega.
6 years later, we invented, in 1999, the programmable GPU. And it started 20 plus years of incredible advance in this incredible processor called the GPU. It made modern computer graphics possible. And now, 30 years later, Sega's Virtual Fighter is completely cinematic. This is the new Virtual Fighter project that's coming. I just can't wait. Absolutely incredible. 6 years after that, 6 years after 1999, we invented CUDA so that we could explain or express the programmability of our GPUs to a rich set of algorithms that could benefit from it. CUDA initially was difficult to explain. And it took years, in fact. It took approximately 6 years. Somehow, 6 years later or so, 2012, Alex Karshevsky, Ilya Sutskever, and Jeff Hinton discovered CUDA, used it to process AlexNet, and the rest of it is history. AI has been advancing at an incredible pace since. Started with perception AI. We now can understand images and words and sounds. To generative AI, we can generate images and text and sounds. And now, agentic AI. AIs that can perceive, reason, plan, and act. And then the next phase, some of which we'll talk about tonight, physical AI, 2012. Now, magically, 2018, something happened that was pretty incredible. Google's Transformer was released as BERT, and the world of AI really took off. Transformers, as you know, completely changed the landscape for artificial intelligence. In fact, it completely changed the landscape for computing altogether. We recognized properly that AI was not just a new application with a new business opportunity, but AI, more importantly, machine learning enabled by transformers, was going to fundamentally change how computing works. And today, computing is revolutionized in every single layer, from hand coding, instructions that run on CPUs to create software tools that humans use. We now have machine learning that creates and optimizes neural networks that processes on GPUs and creates artificial intelligence. Every single layer of the technology stack has been completely changed. An incredible transformation in just 12 years. Well, we can now understand information of just about any modality. Surely you've seen text and images and sounds and things like that. But not only can we understand those, we can understand amino acids, we can understand physics. We understand them, we can translate them, and generate them. The applications are just completely endless. In fact, almost any AI application that you see out there, what modality is the input that it learned from? What modality of information did it translate to? And what modality of information is it generating? If you ask these three fundamental questions, just about every single application could be inferred. And so when you see application after applications that are AI-driven, AI-native, at the core of it, this fundamental concept is there. Machine learning has changed how every application is going to be built, how computing will be done, and the possibilities beyond. Well, GPUs, GeForce, in a lot of ways, all of this with AI is the house that GeForce built. GeForce enabled AI to reach the masses. And now, AI is coming home to GeForce. There are so many things that you can't do without AI. Let me show you some of it now. That was real-time computer graphics. No computer graphics researcher, no computer scientist would have told you that it is possible for us to ray trace every single pixel at this point. Ray tracing is a simulation of light. The amount of geometry that you saw was absolutely insane.
He's just a hologram.
It would have been impossible without artificial intelligence. There are two fundamental things that we did. We used, of course, programmable shading and ray traced acceleration to produce incredibly beautiful pixels. But then we have artificial intelligence be conditioned, be controlled by that pixel to generate a whole bunch of other pixels. Not only is it able to generate other pixels spatially, because it's aware of what the colors should be, it has been trained on a supercomputer back in Nvidia, and so the neural network that's running on the GPU can infer and predict the pixels that we did not render.
My suspicion is it's going to be $22.99.
The latest generation of DLSS also generates beyond frames.
That's for the Founders Edition.
Future, generating 3 additional frames for every frame that we calculate. What you saw, if we just said 4 frames of what you saw, because we're going to render 1 frame and generate 3. If I said 4 frames at full HD, 4K, that's 33 million pixels or so. Out of that 33 million pixels, we computed only 2. It is an absolute miracle that we can computationally using programmable shaders and our ray tracing engine, to compute 2 million pixels and have AI predict all of the other 33. And as a result, we're able to render at incredibly high performance because AI does a lot less computation. It takes, of course, an enormous amount of training.
Kidneys have gone up in
produce
price
that,
gaming with Spooky Dan.
But once you train it, the generation is extremely efficient. So this is one of the incredible capabilities of artificial intelligence, and that's why there's so many amazing things that are happening. We used GeForce to enable artificial intelligence, and now artificial intelligence is revolutionizing GeForce. Everyone, today we're announcing our next generation, the RTX Blackwell family. Let's take a look.
Is it a 2-slot card? Oh, great, another vapor chamber they can break. I swear to God, it looks like a 2-slot card.
Here it is. Our brand new GeForce RTX 50 series Blackwell architecture. The GPU is just a beast. 92 billion transistors, 4,000 TOPS, 4 petaflops of AI, 3 times higher than the last generation Ada. And we need all of it to generate
looks like it's only 2.
that I showed you. 380 ray tracing
amazing.
teraflops.
That's going to fit great in my Octo server.
compute the most beautiful
Won't be PCIe 5,
but
can.
And of course, 125 shader teraflops.
Thanks for becoming a subscriber, Armin. Appreciate it.
As well as an integer unit of equal performance. So 2 dual shaders. One is for floating point. One is for integer. G7 memory from Micron. 1.8 terabytes per second, twice the performance of our last generation. And we now have the ability to intermix AI workloads with computer graphics workloads. And one of the amazing things about this generation is the programmable shader is also able
You wish,
now
Joker.
process
You
neural
wish.
networks. So the shader is able to carry these neural networks, and as a result, we invented
I gotta put Sunflower Mama to work.
and neural material shading.
Yeah, so she
As
can
a
get 3 of
result
them in
that,
one shot.
You get these amazingly beautiful images that are only possible because we use AIs to learn the texture, learn the compression algorithm, and as a result, get extraordinary results. Okay, so this is the brand new RTX Blackwell 5090.
5090. 2-slot card, people.
Now-
He just said 5090.
Even the mechanical design is a miracle. Look at this, it's got 2 fans. This whole graphics card is just one giant fan. You know, so the question is, where's the graphics card? It's literally this big.
That's
The
amazing.
voltage regulator design is state-of-the-art, incredible design. The engineering team did a great job. So here it is. Thank you.
I'm so excited that that's 2 slots.
Okay,
so excited.
Those are the speeds and feeds, so how does it compare? Well, this is RTX 4090. I know many of you have one. I know it.
Yeah, just
Look,
fixed one.
It's $1,599. It is one of the best investments you could possibly make.
Absolutely true.
For $1,599, you bring it home to your $10,000 PC entertainment command center. Isn't that right? Don't tell me that's not true. Don't be ashamed.
It's not true.
It's liquid cooled, fancy lights all over it. You lock it when you leave. It's the modern home theater. It makes perfect sense. And now for $1,500 and $1,599,
for
you get to
$4,090.
upgrade that and
5090.
turbocharge the living daylights out of it. Well, now with the Blackwell family, RTX 5070, 4090 performance at $549.
Wow. Performance, but you don't have half the memory or only 16 gigs instead of 24. Not the same.
Impossible without artificial intelligence. Impossible without the 4 teraops of AI tensor cores. Impossible without the G7 memories. Okay, so 5070, 4090 performance, $549, and here's the whole family. Starting from 5070 all the way up to 5090.
No way, it's only going to be $2,000?
4090.
Wow. That's not bad, people. That is not bad.
Of course, we're producing.
It'd be like
at 70
to 80% more
availability
performance
starting January.
than a 4090.
Well,
plus
it
an
is
extra
incredible,
8
but we managed to put
gigs of memory.
These in gigantic performance GPUs into a laptop.
Scalpers are going to kill us.
This is a 5070 laptop. For $1,299, this 5070 laptop
We
has
all
a
know that
4090
GPUs and
performance.
laptops don't
I
match
think there's one
up.
here somewhere.
I hate it when
Let
they're
me show
like
you
call
this.
it the same thing.
This is look at this thing. Here. There's only so many pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, Janine Paul.
It's not the same freaking thing.
You got this incredible graphics card here, Blackwell. We're going to shrink it and put it in there. Does that make any sense?
And basically hold it back because it's going to overheat.
You can't do that without artificial intelligence. And the reason for that is because we're generating most of the pixels using our tensor cores. So we ray trace only the pixels we need, and we generate using artificial
5070, I
intelligence
think, is
all the other
256.
pixels we have. As a result, the energy efficiency is just
5090,
off
I
the
think, is the
charts.
only one with
The
512.
future of computer graphics is neural rendering, the fusion of artificial intelligence and computer graphics. And what's really amazing is, oh, here we go. Thank you. This is a surprisingly kinetic keynote. And what's really amazing is the family of GPUs we're going to put in here. And so the 5090 will fit into a laptop, a thin laptop. That last laptop was 14.9 millimeters. You got a 5080, 5070 Ti, and 5070. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the RTX Blackwell family.
Gaming the Smoky Dan. Nah, there's a tiny fairy in there blowing on the card to keep it cool.
Brought AI to the world, democratized AI. Now AI has come back and revolutionized GeForce. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Let's go to somewhere else at NVIDIA. This is literally our office. This is literally NVIDIA's headquarters. Okay, so let's talk about AI. The industry is chasing and racing to scale artificial intelligence. And the scaling law is a powerful model. It's an empirical law that has been observed and demonstrated by researchers and industry over several generations. And the scaling law says that the more data you have, the training data that you have, the larger model that you have, and the more compute that you apply to it, therefore, the more effective or the more capable your model will become. And so the scaling law continues. What's really amazing is that now we're moving towards, of course, and the internet is producing about twice the amount of data every single year as it did last year. I think in the next couple of years, humanity will produce more data than all of humanity has ever produced since the beginning. And so we're still producing a gigantic amount of data, and it's becoming multimodal. Video and images and sound, all of that data could be used to train the fundamental knowledge, the foundational knowledge of an AI. But there are, in fact, two other scaling laws that has now emerged. And it's somewhat intuitive. The second scaling law is post-training scaling law. Post-training scaling law uses techniques like reinforcement learning, human feedback. Basically, the AI produces and generates answers based on a human query. The human then, of course, gives a feedback. It's much more complicated than that, but that reinforcement learning system with a fair number of very high-quality prompts causes the AI to refine its skills. It could fine-tune its skills for particular domains. It could be better at solving math problems, better at reasoning, so on and so forth. And so it's essentially like
very relevant to like optical,
having a mentor or having a coach
sensing
give
optical
you
and trying to
feedback,
figure out what is
after
what.
you're done going to school.
My daughter did that
And
in
so
college for a
you
project.
get tests, you get feedback, you improve yourself. We also have reinforcement learning AI feedback, and we have synthetic data generation. These techniques are rather akin to, if you will, self-practice. You know the answer to a particular problem, and
Scott A said it had the same performance.
An AI could be presented
but it's not
with a
definitely
very
not the
complicated
same.
and a difficult problem that has
Half the amount of memory.
verifiable functionally, and it has an answer that we understand. Maybe proving a theorem, maybe solving
as many as I can.
Geometry problem, and so these problems would cause the AI to produce answers, and
I'm not so sure 3090s will drop.
Learn how to improve itself. That's called post-training.
But I will say that
I
don't know.
But the end
I'm not sure.
result
There's still a huge gap.
Incredible models.
I mean, remember 3090s
now
were
have
selling
a
for
third
500,
scaling law,
and now they've been
this
selling for
third
more.
scaling
So
law has to do with
I don't know. You still have a
what's
huge
called
gap
test
between the
time
4090
scaling.
and the 3090
Test
as
time
far as
scaling
price.
is basically when you're being used. When you're using the AI has the ability to now apply a different resource allocation. Instead of improving its parameters, now it's focused on deciding how much computation to use to produce the answers it wants to produce. Reasoning is a way of thinking about this. Long thinking is a way to think about this. Instead of a direct inference or one-shot answer, you might reason about it. You might break down the problem into multiple steps. You might generate multiple ideas and evaluate.
Again, people aren't going to be
your AI
buying
system would
the
evaluate which one of the
5070
ideas that you
for
generated
AI
was the best one.
because
Maybe
it only
solves
has
the problem
12 gigs
step
of
by step,
memory.
so on and so forth.
So the 4090
And
to
so
the
now
3090 will
test
still
time
be
scaling
very, very
has
relevant
proven to be
because of the
incredibly
memory.
effective.
And you'll
You're
still have those
watching
people
this
saying,
sequence
I
of
want good
technology
raster
and this- all
performance,
of these
so
scaling
we
laws
still need more
emerge
memory
as
in
we
the
see
cards.
Incredible achievements from ChatGPT to O1 to O3. and now Gemini Pro, all of these systems are going through this journey step by step of pre-training to post-training to test time scaling. Well, the amount of computation that we need, of course, is incredible. And we would like, in fact, that society has the ability to scale the amount of computation to produce more and more novel and better intelligence. Intelligence, of course, is the most valuable asset that we have, and it can be applied to solve a lot of very challenging problems. And so, scaling, it's driving enormous demand for NVIDIA computing. It's driving an enormous demand.
Now you know what
his
overall plan was. His overall plan was to gain subs to be his minions. That's all.
Blackwell
it's the Red Panda Kingdom.
It is incredible what it looks like. So first of all, there's some. Every single cloud service provider now have systems up and running. We have systems here from about 15.
No, Sunflower Mama, you are
15,
not available.
15 computer makers.
We need the cards, man. We need the cards.
About 200 different SKUs, 200 different configurations.
Wow, 105 people watching. Thank you, guys.
x86, NVIDIA Grace CPU versions, NVLink 36
hit the like button.
by 2, NVLink
Hell,
70
while you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell.
Different types of systems so that we can accommodate just about every single data center in the world. Well, these systems are being currently manufactured in some 45 factories. It tells you how pervasive artificial intelligence is and how much the industry is jumping onto artificial intelligence in this new computing model. Well, the reason why we're driving it so hard is because we need a lot more computation. And it's very clear that Janine?
Oh, thanks, travelers.
You know, it's hard to tell. You don't ever want to reach your hands into a dark place.
Wow, I don't want to know where this is going.
All right. Wait for it. Wait for it. I thought I was worthy. Apparently, Yonir didn't think I was worthy. All right. This is my show and tell. This is a show and tell. So, this NVLink system, this right here, this NVLink system, this is GB200 NVLink 72. It is 1.5 tons, 600,000 parts, approximately equal to 20 cars, 120 kilowatts. It has a spine behind it that connects all of these GPU together, 2 miles of copper cable, 5,000 cables. This is being manufactured in 45 factories around the world. We build them, we liquid cool them, we test them, we disassemble them, ship them in parts to the data centers because it's 1.5 tons. We reassemble it outside the data centers and install them. The manufacturing is insane. But the goal of all of this is because the scaling laws are driving computing so hard that this level of computation, Blackwell
Mabel,
over
good to see you.
our last generation, improves the performance per watt by a factor of 4. Performance per watt by a factor of 4, performance per dollar by a factor of 3. That basically says that in one generation, we reduce the cost of training these models by a factor of 3. Or if you want to increase the size of your model by a factor of 3, it's about the same cost. But the important thing is this. These are generating tokens that are being used by all of us when we use ChatGPT or when we use Gemini, use our phones in the future. Just about all of these applications are going to be consuming these AI tokens. And these AI tokens are being generated by these systems. And every single data center is limited by power. And so if the perf per watt of Blackwell is 4 times our last generation, then the revenue that could be generated, the amount of business that can be generated in the data center is increased by a factor of 4. And so these AI factory systems really are factories today. Now, the goal of all of this is so that we can create one giant chip. The amount of computation we need is really quite incredible. And this is basically one giant chip. If we would have had to build a chip, here we go. Sorry, guys. You see that? That's cool. Look at that. Disco lights in here. All right. If we had to build this as one chip, obviously this would be the size of the wafer, but this doesn't include the impact of yield. It would have to be probably 3 or 4 times this size. But what we basically have here is 72 Blackwell GPUs or 144 dies. This one chip here is 1.4 exaflops. The world's largest supercomputer, fastest supercomputer, only recently, this entire room's supercomputer only recently achieved an exaflop plus. This is 1.4 exaflops of AI floating point performance. It has 14 terabytes of memory, but here's the amazing thing. The memory bandwidth is 1.2 petabytes per second. That's basically the entire internet traffic that's happening right now. The entire world's internet traffic is being processed across these chips, okay? And we have
anybody that's thinking about buying 5090s for Panda, I will outbid you.
In total,
I will outbid him.
2,592 CPU cores, whole bunch of networking. And so these, I wish I could
look
do
at him
this.
coming into my chat,
So these are the
poaching my subscribers, my viewers.
These are our ConnectX.
You are horrible,
chips.
Panda. Horrible.
These are the NVLink, and we're trying to pretend about the NVLink spine.
So do I. I got an Octo server I got to fill.
And these
I got an Octo server I got to fill.
14 terabytes of HBM memory. This is what we're trying to do, and this is the miracle. This is the miracle of the Blackwell system. The Blackwell dies
No, I did not say. Well, yeah, I guess I did say.
It is the largest single chip the world's ever made.
That.
But yet, the miracle
not what I
is
meant,
really,
Scott A. Not what I meant.
This is the Grace Blackwell system. Well, the goal of all of this, of course, is so that we can.
I will never, ever get another sub bomb from Panda ever again. Chomp is here.
Can I have
Thanks,
a Michelob
Chomp.
Ultra?
Wait. I got to figure out what. What were you saying was fucked up? You probably missed the first part, which was Panda coming into my stream asking the people on my stream to help him get 5090s.
We're in the Michelob Ultra Stadium.
And my wife is even saying she'll do it.
It's like coming to Nvidia and we don't have a GPU for
That's
you.
just fucked up. That's what's fucked up.
So we need an enormous amount of computation because we want to train larger and larger models. And these inferences used to be one inference, but in the future, the AI is going to be talking to itself. It's going to be thinking. It's going to be internally reflecting, processing. So today,
okay, good jump. So you got
when the tokens are being generated at you, so long as it's coming out at 20 or 30 tokens per second, it's basically as fast as anybody can read. However, in the future, and right now with GPT-01, you know, with the new Gemini Pro and the new the 01, 03 models, they're talking to themselves, reflecting, they're thinking. And so, as you can imagine, the rate at which the tokens could be ingested is incredibly high. And so we need the token rates, the token generation rates, to go way up. And we also have to drive the cost way down simultaneously so that the quality of service can be extraordinary, the cost to customers can continue to be low. And
I don't think any of them are going to sell in the store.
That's the fundamental purpose. The reason why
that's the thing.
NVLink.
I don't think anybody's going to do it. Maybe Micro Center, but not Best Buy. Best Buy doesn't do it anymore.
Is Agentic AI.
I hope it does.
Agentic AI basically.
But I don't think it. I don't think they're going to do it.
Test time scaling. AI is a system of models. Some of it is understanding, interacting with the customer, interacting with the user. Some of it's maybe retrieving information from storage, a semantic AI system like a RAG, Maybe it's going on to the internet. Maybe it's studying a PDF file. And so it might be using
oh my
tools,
gosh, I haven't heard
using a
that game in a
calculator,
long time.
And it might be using a generative AI to generate charts and such. And it's taking the problem you gave it, breaking it down step by step, and it's iterating through all these different models. Well, in order to respond to a customer in the future, in order for AI to respond,
although I don't know about, like I said, Micro Center is the only one.
Starts spewing out. In the future, you ask a question, a whole bunch of models are going to be working in the background. And so test time scaling, the amount of computation used for inference.
Yeah, they did originally. Way early in the process, they were doing it.
Because we want better and better answers.
They were doing it from the store. Trust me, I know.
The industry
we've done that
Agentic
before,
AI.
but
our go-to-market is not direct to enterprise customers.
and I had gotten a bunch of open box
is we work with software
that I picked
developers
up
in
at the store, so
IT
they were at the
ecosystem
store.
to integrate our technology.
But that was well after the
new
initial
capabilities, just like
fury.
We did with
There's going to be a big fury up,
we now
up at the
want to do
beginning.
that with AI libraries. And just as the computing model of the past has APIs that are doing computer graphics or doing linear algebra or doing fluid dynamics.
Okay, so I think we have it. So whoever decides that they're going to get a 5090 for Panda, you have to make sure that before you ship it to him, he has to shave his legs on stream.
AI
I think that's fair.
All packaged up. It takes all of this really complicated software.
I don't think he's really going to do that.
Cutlass.
Oh, well, actually, yeah, Chum, send him your chip. If you still have a chip, send him that. He can eat that. But the problem is that's not going to be any fun because he won't put his face on stream.
And you could take it
so you're just going to hear his pain in the background.
For vision, for understanding languages, for speech.
Oh, even better, Game Me a Smoky Dan.
And
yes, wax them.
New exciting models coming for physical AI. And these AI models run
I don't know,
in
a
every
weird
single
fetish.
cloud.
I just think that would be just like embarrassing. That's what I mean.
So you could literally take these models, integrate it into
your
the
software packages,
create AI agents that run on Cadence, or there might be
make him restock the bathwater.
They might be SAP agents, and they could deploy it to their customers and run it wherever the customers want to run the software.
You mean what he's talking about or what we're talking about?
NeMo is essentially a digital employee onboarding and training.
Wow, 112 people, 115 people here. Wow.
In the future, these
good to see you all. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button if you would.
That are working alongside your employees.
Hit subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. It's
on your behalf.
The best four-letter word ever. It's free to subscribe.
The special agents into your company is to onboard them, just like you onboard an employee. And so we have different libraries that helps these AI agents be trained.
Scotty, they just said availability starting in January. So the rumor is 5080 first, then 5090.
Give them examples
and 5080, I think, was like the third week of January.
And you would give a feedback.
I'm guessing it'd be another 3 weeks before the 5090, but I'm not sure.
And so
hopefully they do eventually say that.
And you would guardrail them. You say, these are the things that you're not allowed to do. These are the things you're not allowed to say. And we even give them access to certain information. Okay, so that entire pipeline, digital employee pipeline, is called NeMo. In a lot of ways, the IT department of every company is going to be the
even
HR
better
department
idea.
of
He uses
AI
wax,
but
spells out CASPA.
Today they manage and maintain a bunch of software
for a whole year
from the IT industry.
Well, he's going to wait a whole year for the 5090.
Nurture, onboard, and improve a whole bunch of digital agents.
He says he's got hairy legs. I don't know. Hey, he's the one who said it.
Your IT department is going to become kind of like AI agent HR. And on top of that, we provide a whole bunch of blueprints that our ecosystem could take advantage of.
Can't wait to retire this dog shit Zotac Twin Edge 3070.
And modify the blueprints.
Switch the fans so many times, cost me a rack, yeah.
Well, today we're also announcing that we're doing something that's really cool and I think really clever. We're announcing a whole family of models.
I'll take it, just a 5070 for old Llama testing. I'm not greedy.
Llama
like
Nemotron language foundation models. Llama 3.1 is a complete phenomenon. The download of Llama 3.1 from Meta, 650,000 times, something like that. It has been derived and turned into other models, about 60,000 other different models. It is singularly the reason why just about every single enterprise and every single industry has been activated to start working on AI. Well, the thing that we did was we realized that the Llama models really could be better fine-tuned for enterprise use. And so we fine-tune them using our expertise and our capabilities, and we turn them into the Llama Nemotron suite of open models. There are small ones that interact in very, very fast response time, extremely small. They're what we call super Llama Nemotron supers. They're basically your mainstream versions of your models. Or your ultra model. The ultra model could be used to be a teacher model for a whole bunch of other models. It could be a reward model.
So what's your video title gonna be tomorrow, Red
other
Panda?
models to create answers and decide whether it's a good answer or not. Basically give feedback to other models. It could be distilled in a lot of different ways. Basically, a teacher model, a knowledge distillation model.
I honestly
large,
don't
very
think there's going to be a line.
And so all of this is now available.
Like I said, I hope there is, because that gives me a chance.
These models are incredible. It's number one in leaderboards for chat, leaderboard for instruction.
Oh, this is going to be one where we're going to have to line up for like a full
retrieval.
24 hours in advance.
So the different types of functionalities necessary
we're gonna take
that
turns.
are used in AI agents around the world, these are going to be incredible models for you. We're also working with the ecosystem. All of our NVIDIA AI technologies are integrated into the IT industry. We have great partners and really great work being done at ServiceNow, at SAP, at Siemens for industrial AI. Cadence is doing great work. Synopsys is doing
if
great
anybody
work.
is
I'm
willing
really
to
proud of
help
the
me
work
out,
that we
I
do
would be
with
grateful, because I
Perplexity.
do
As
want
you
to
know,
get
they
6 to fill up the
revolutionized
Octo
search.
server as well.
Yeah, really fantastic stuff. Codium, every software engineer in the world. This is going to be the next giant AI application, next giant AI service, period, is software coding. 30 million software engineers around the world. Everybody is going to have a software assistant helping them code. If not, obviously you're just going to be way less productive and create lesser good code. And so this is 30 million. There's 1 billion knowledge workers in the world.
Red Panda, keep in mind, it may be a while before you can deploy them, because it may take a while for some of these platforms to allow 5090s on their platform.
Let me show you some of the
we'll see.
Blueprints that we've created and some of the work that we've done with our partners with these AI agents.
We don't know exactly when the full release is yet. We just know that it's going to start with 5080, and that's going to be January.
AI agents are the new digital workforce, working for and with us.
I should say that's what the rumors are.
AI agents are a system of models that reason about a mission, break it down into tasks, and retrieve data or use tools to generate a quality response. NVIDIA's Agentic AI building blocks, NIM pre-trained models, and NEMO framework let organizations easily develop AI agents and deploy them anywhere. We will onboard and train our agentic workforces on our company's methods, like we do for employees. AI agents are domain-specific task experts. Let me show you 4 examples. For the billions of knowledge workers and students, AI research assistant agents ingest complex documents like lectures, journals, financial results, and generate interactive podcasts for easy learning.
By combining a UNet regression model with a diffusion model, CoreDiff can downscale global weather forecasts down from 25 kilometers to 2 kilometers.
Developers, like at NVIDIA, manage software security AI agents that continuously scan software for vulnerabilities, alerting developers to what action is needed. Virtual Lab AI agents help researchers design and screen billions of compounds to find promising drug candidates faster than ever. And Video Analytics AI agents, built on an NVIDIA Metropolis blueprint, including NVIDIA Cosmos Nemotron vision language models, Llama Nemotron LLMs, and NEMO Retriever.
Metropolis
M4 Gaming,
agents
I'm not sure.
analyze
I'm
content
hoping.
from the billions
We'll
of
see.
cameras,
Some of this is actually pretty interesting.
generating
This is showing
100,000
literally
petabytes of video
that it's
per
going
day.
to be replacing people's jobs.
They
They've just
enable
named
interactive
people's
search,
jobs.
summarization, and automated reporting, and help monitor traffic flows, flagging congestion or danger.
In industrial facilities, they monitor processes and generate recommendations or improvement. Metropolis agents centralize data from hundreds of cameras and can reroute workers or robots when incidents occur. The age of agentic AI is here for every organization.
Okay. That was the first pitch at a baseball game. That was not generated.
Sure.
I just felt that none of you were impressed. Okay, so AI was created in the cloud.
Did you notice how the ball went out of the
and
picture
for
and then
the
came
cloud.
back into the picture?
Yeah, it's created in the cloud. For
Totally
the cloud.
fake.
And for enjoying AI on phones, of course, it's perfect. Very, very soon, we're going to have a continuous AI that's going to be with you. And
took
when
our
you use
gerbs.
those Meta glasses,
Yes.
You could, of course, point at something, look at something, and ask it, whatever information you want. And so AI is perfect in the cloud. It was created in the cloud. It's perfect in the cloud. However, we would love to be able to take that AI everywhere. I've mentioned already that you could take NVIDIA AI to any cloud, but you could also put it inside your company. But the thing that we want to do more than anything is put it on our PC as well. And so, as you know, Windows 95 revolutionized
Not
the
yet,
computer
Allset,
industry.
not yet.
It made possible this new suite of multimedia services, and it changed the way that applications was created forever. Windows 95, this model of computing, of course, is not perfect for AI. And so the thing that we would like to do is we would like to have, in the future, your AI basically become your AI assistant. And instead of just the 3D APIs and the sound APIs and the video APIs, you would have generative APIs for 3D and generative APIs for language and generative AI for sound and so on and so forth. And we need a system that makes that possible.
Are you a
while
D-Pin Banshee? I have a
leveraging
few
the
free
massive
mobile ones if
investment
you're interested.
That's in the cloud.
I'm not
There's
sure
no way
which
that we could,
D-Pin
the
projects
world
you're
could
talking
create
about.
yet another way of
I might be
programming
interested.
AI models. It's just not going to happen. And so, if we could figure
Yep,
out a
and
way,
he's re-releasing it
to
with
make
his own version
Windows
of Clippy.
PC
Everybody remember Clippy?
a world-class AI PC, it would be completely awesome. And it turns out the answer is Windows. It's Windows WSL2. Windows WSL2. Windows WSL2 basically is two operating systems within one. It works perfectly. It's developed for developers, and it's developed so that you can have access to bare metal. WSL2 has been optimized for cloud-native applications.
Clippy is your
It is
spirit
optimized
animal.
for, and very importantly, it's been optimized for CUDA.
Oh, I love it.
And so WSL2 supports CUDA perfectly out of the box. As a result, everything that I showed you with NVIDIA
WSL2,
NIMs,
yeah.
NVIDIA NEMO,
Windows subsystem for Linux.
the blueprints that we develop that are going to be up in ai.nvidia.com, so long as the computer fits it, so long as you can fit that model, and we're going to have many models
Yeah,
that
yes, he
fit,
did just say
whether
that,
it's
Goat.
vision models or language models or speech models or these animation digital human models, all kinds of different types of models are going to be perfect for your PC, and you download it and it should just run. And so our focus
keyword there is
to turn
should.
Windows WSL2, Windows PC into a target first-class platform that we will support and maintain for as long as we shall live. And so this is an incredible thing for engineers and developers everywhere. Let me show you something that we can do with that. This is one of the examples of a blueprint we just made for you.
But this is true. My daughter did this back in college. I helped her install.
Generative AI synthesizes amazing images
WSL2,
from simple text prompts. Yet image
Hyper-V,
composition can be
I believe is
challenging
what
to
she
control
installed.
using only words. With NVIDIA NIM microservices, creators can use simple 3D objects to guide AI image generation. Let's see how a concept artist can use this technology to develop the look of a scene. They start by laying out 3D assets, created by hand or generated with AI. Then use an image generation NIM, such as Flux, to create a visual that adheres to the 3D scene.
Did you just say
Add or move
Flux?
objects to refine the composition. Change camera angles to frame the perfect shot. Or reimagine the whole scene with a new prompt. Assisted by generative AI and NVIDIA NIM, and artists can quickly realize their vision.
NVIDIA AI for your PCs. Hundreds of millions of PCs in the world with Windows, and so we could get them ready for AI. OEMs, all the PC OEMs we work with, just basically all of the world's leading PC OEMs, are going to get their PCs ready for this stack. And so AI PCs are coming to a home near you.
He's waiting on something. Good.
Okay, let's talk about physical AI. Speaking of Linux, let's talk about physical AI.
Did you just forget and you needed a prompt?
So, physical AI. Imagine
with bowstring? Huh.
Whereas your large language model, you give it your context, your prompt.
Zero flux given.
On the left, and it generates tokens.
Yeah, I figured
one at a
that it was not the flux that we
output.
usually talk about. I just thought it was
That's
kind of funny.
basically how it works. The amazing thing is this model in the middle is quite large, has billions of parameters. The context length is incredibly large because you might decide to load in a PDF. In my case, I might load in several PDFs before I ask it a question. Those PDFs are turned into tokens. The basic attention characteristic of a transformer has every single token find its relationship and relevance against every other token. So you could have hundreds of thousands of tokens, and the computational load increases quadratically, and it does this, all of the parameters, all of the input sequence, process it through every single layer of the transformer, and it produces one token. That's the reason why we needed Blackwell. And then the next token is produced when the current token is done. It puts the current token into the input sequence and takes that whole thing and generates the next token. It does it one at a time. This is the transformer model. It's the reason why it is so incredibly effective, computationally demanding. What if instead of PDFs, it's your surrounding? And what if instead of the prompt, a question, it's a request? Go over there and pick up that box and bring it back. And instead of what is produced in tokens as text, it produces action tokens. Well, that I just described is a very sensible thing for the future of robotics. And the technology is right around the corner. But what we need to do is we need to create the effectively the world model of, as opposed to GPT, which is a language model. And this world model has to understand the language of the world. It has to understand physical dynamics, things like gravity and friction and inertia. It has to understand geometric and spatial relationships. It has to understand cause and effect. If you drop something, it falls to the ground. If you poke at it, it tips over. It has to understand object permanence. If you roll a ball over the kitchen counter, when it goes off the other side, the ball didn't leave into another quantum universe. That's still there. And so all of these types of understanding is intuitive understanding that we know that most models today have a very hard time with. And so we would like to create we need a world foundation model. Today we're announcing a very big thing. We're announcing NVIDIA Cosmos, a world foundation model that is designed, that was created to understand the physical world. And the only way for you to really understand this is to see it. Let's play it.
Check, it really has to go.
The next frontier of AI is physical AI. Model performance is directly related to data availability, but physical world data is costly to capture, curate, and label. NVIDIA Cosmos is a world foundation model development platform to advance physical AI. It includes auto-regressive world foundation models, diffusion-based world foundation models, advanced tokenizers, and an NVIDIA CUDA, an AI-accelerated data pipeline. Cosmos models ingest text, image, or video prompts and generate virtual world states as videos. Cosmos generations prioritize the unique requirements of AV and robotics use cases, like real-world environments, lighting, and object permanence. Developers use NVIDIA Omniverse to build physics-based, geospatially accurate scenarios, then output Omniverse renders into Cosmos, which generates photoreal, physically based synthetic data. Whether diverse objects or environments, conditions like weather or time of day, or edge case scenarios. Developers use Cosmos to generate worlds for reinforcement learning AI feedback to improve policy models, or to test and validate model performance, even across multi-sensor views. Cosmos can generate tokens in real time, bringing the power of foresight and multiverse simulation to AI models, generating every possible future to help the model select the right path. Working with the world's developer ecosystem, NVIDIA is helping advance the next wave of physical AI.
NVIDIA Cosmos. NVIDIA Cosmos. NVIDIA Cosmos, the world's first world foundation model. It is trained on 20 million hours of video. The 20 million hours of video focuses on physical dynamic things. So dynamic nature themes, humans walking, hands moving, manipulating things, things that are fast camera movements. It's really about teaching the AI, not about generating creative content, but teaching the AI to understand the physical world. And from this, with this physical AI,
wow, that's a lot.
There are
of
many
beers
downstream things that we could
maybe keeping
do
up with
as a
King.
result. We could do synthetic data generation to train models. We could distill it and turn it into effectively.
Thank you for being a member for 7 months,
of a
Ruth.
robotics
That's very
model.
much appreciated.
You could have it generate multiple physically based, physically plausible
Yeah, it's almost here.
scenarios of the future.
Rise of the
Basically, do a Doctor
machines.
Strange. You could because this model understands the physical world. Of course, you saw a whole bunch of images generated. This model understanding the physical world, it also could do, of course, captioning. And so it could take videos, caption it incredibly well, and that captioning and the video could be used to train large language models, multimodality large language models. And so you could use this technology to use this foundation model to train robots, as well as large language models. And so this is the NVIDIA Cosmos. The platform has an autoregressive model for real-time applications, has diffusion model for very high-quality image generation. It's incredible tokenizer, basically learning the vocabulary of real world, and a data pipeline so that if you would like to take all of this and then train it on your own data.
Empire Gaming, I am
data pipeline,
doing
because there's
Silencio a little bit, not too
involved,
much though.
We've accelerated everything end-to-end for you. And so this is the world's first data processing pipeline that's CUDA accelerated as well as AI accelerated. All of this is part of the Cosmos platform. And today we're announcing that Cosmos is open licensed. It's open available on GitHub.
Same thing with Natix. I don't have the stand for it to use it on my phone.
We hope that this moment, and there's a small, medium, large for very fast models, mainstream models, and also teacher models, basically not knowledge transfer models. Cosmos World Foundation model being open, we really hope will do for the world of robotics and industrial AI what Llama 3 has done for enterprise AI. The magic happens when you connect Cosmos to Omniverse, and the reason fundamentally is this. Omniverse is a physics grounded, not physically grounded, but physics grounded. It's algorithmic physics, principled physics simulation grounded system. It's a simulator. When you connect that to Cosmos, it provides the grounding, the ground truth that can control and to condition the Osmos generation. As a result, what comes out of Osmos is grounded on truth. This is exactly the same idea as connecting a large language model to a RAG, to a retrieval augmented generation system. You want to ground the AI generation on ground truth. And so the combination of the two gives you a physically simulated, a physically grounded multiverse generator. And the application, the use cases are really quite exciting. And of course, for robotics, for industrial applications, it is very, very clear. This Cosmos plus Omniverse plus Cosmos represents the third computer that's necessary for building robotic systems. Every robotics company will ultimately have to build 3 computers. The robotic system could be a factory, the robotic system could be a car, it could be a robot. You need 3 fundamental computers. One computer, of course, to train the AI. We call it the DGX computer to train the AI. Another, of course, when you're done, to deploy the AI. We call that AGX. That's inside the car, in the robot, or in an AMR, or at the in a stadium, or whatever it is. These computers are at the edge and they're autonomous. But to connect the two, you need a digital twin. And this is all the simulations that you were seeing. The digital twin is where the AI that has been trained goes to practice, to be refined, to do its synthetic data generation, reinforcement learning, AI feedback, such and such. And so it's the digital twin of the AI. These 3 computers are going to be working interactively. NVIDIA's strategy for the industrial world, and we've been talking about this for some time, is this 3-computer system. Instead of a three-body problem, we have a 3-computer solution. And so it's the NVIDIA.
Sata, you're onto something there. Red Pandai. AI at the end of his name.
So let me give you 3 examples.
I like it.
All right, so the first example is how we apply all of this to industrial digitalization. There are millions of factories, hundreds of thousands of warehouses. That's basically it's the backbone of a $50 trillion manufacturing industry. All of that has to become software defined. All of it has to have automation in the future. And all of it will be infused with robotics. Well, we're partnering with Keon, the world's leading warehouse automation solutions provider, and Accenture, the world's largest professional services provider, and they have a big focus in digital manufacturing. And we're working together to create something that's really special. And I'll show you that in a second. But our go-to-market is essentially the same as all of the other software platforms and all the technology platforms that we have. Through the developers and ecosystem partners, and we have just a growing number of ecosystem partners connecting to Omniverse. And the reason for that is very clear. Everybody wants to digitalize the future of industries. There's so much waste, so much opportunity for automation in that $50 trillion of the world's GDP. So let's take a look at that. This one example that we're doing with Keon and Accenture.
Keon, the supply chain solution company, Accenture, a global leader in professional services, and Nvidia are bringing physical AI to the $1 trillion warehouse and distribution center market. Managing high-performance warehouse logistics involves navigating a complex web of decisions influenced by constantly shifting variables. These include daily and seasonal demand changes, space constraints, workforce availability, and the integration of diverse robotic and automated systems. And predicting operational KPIs of a physical warehouse is nearly impossible today. To tackle these challenges, Keon is adopting Mega, an NVIDIA Omniverse blueprint for building industrial digital twins to test and optimize robotic fleets. First, Keon's warehouse management solution assigns tasks to the industrial AI brains in the digital twin, such as moving a load from a buffer location to a shuttle storage solution. The robot's brains are in a simulation of a physical warehouse, digitalized into Omniverse using OpenUSD connectors to aggregate CAD, video and image to 3D, LiDAR to point cloud, and AI-generated data. The fleet of robots execute tasks by perceiving and reasoning about their Omniverse digital twin environment, planning their next motion and acting. The robot brains can see the resulting state through sensor simulations and decide their next action. The loop continues while Mega precisely tracks the state of everything in the digital twin. Now, Keyon can simulate infinite scenarios at scale while measuring operational KPIs, such as throughput, efficiency, and utilization, all before deploying changes to the physical warehouse. Together with Nvidia, Keyon and Accenture are reinventing industrial autonomy.
In the future, that's incredible.
I'll tell you one thing that's insane about that. You would not have people walking that
future,
close to those robots.
Future,
you would have specific lanes for those robots only to make sure people didn't get run over by the robots.
Exactly like the real
Even though
factory.
they have sensors and everything,
and in fact,
sensors can go bad.
You would
just have that extra layer of safety
to generate a whole bunch of future scenarios, and you pick. Then an AI decides which one of the scenarios are the most optimal for whatever KPIs, and that becomes the programming constraints, the program, if you will, the AIs that will be deployed into the real factories. The next example, autonomous vehicles. The AV revolution has arrived.
I don't think so, but
after
I'm
so
married,
many years,
so I haven't
with
tried.
Waymo's success,
could be possible.
And Tesla's success, it is very, very clear autonomous vehicles has finally arrived. Well, our offering to this industry is the three computers: the training systems to train the AIs, the simulation systems, and the synthetic data generation systems, Omniverse and now Cosmos, and also the computer that's inside the car. Each car company might work with us in a different way, use one or two or three of the computers. We're working with just about every major car company around the world. Waymo and Zoox and Tesla, of course, in their data center, BYD, the largest EV company in the world. JLR's got a really cool car coming. Mercedes has a fleet of cars coming with Nvidia starting this year, going to production. And I'm super, super pleased to announce that today, Toyota and Nvidia are going to partner together to create their next generation AVs. Just so many cool companies. Lucid and Rivian and Xiaomi and, of course, Volvo, just so many different companies. Wabi is building self-driving trucks. Aurora, we announced this week also that Aurora is going to use NVIDIA to build self-driving trucks. Autonomous, 100 million cars built each year, a billion vehicles on the road all over the world, 1 trillion miles that are driven around the world each year. That's all going to be either highly autonomous or, fully autonomous coming up. And so this is going to be a very large industry. I predict that this will likely be the first multi-trillion-dollar robotics industry. This business for us, notice in just a few of these cars that are starting to ramp into the world, our business is already $4 billion, and this year probably on a run rate about $5 billion. So really significant business already. This is going to be very large. Well, today we're announcing that our next generation processor for the car, our next generation computer for the car, is called Thor. I have one right here. Hang on a second. Okay, this is Thor. This is Thor. This is a robotics computer. This is a robotics computer. It takes sensors and just a madness amount of sensor information, process it, umpteen cameras, high resolution, radars, lidars, they're all coming into this chip. And this chip has to process all that sensor, turn them into tokens, put them into a transformer, and predict the next path.
For those people that want to get notified when these are going to be available, you can go to that site that Panda posted, and there's a notify. Click on notify, put in your information. You'll get an email when whatever card you're interested in is going to be available.
Really quite incredible. Thor is in full production. This robotics processor, by the way, also goes
January
into
30th
a full robot.
for 5090. Where'd you see that, Dr. T?
It could be a humanoid robot. It could be the brain. It could be the manipulator. This processor basically is a universal robotics computer. The second part of our drive system that I'm incredibly proud of is the dedication to safety. Drive OS, I'm pleased to announce, is now the first software-defined programmable AI computer that has been certified up to ASIL D, which is the highest standard of functional safety for automobiles. The only and the highest. And so I'm really, really proud of this. ASIL-D, ISO 26262. It is the work of some 15,000 engineering years. This is just extraordinary work. And as a result of that, CUDA is now a functional, safe computer. And so if you're building a robot, NVIDIA CUDA, yeah. Okay, so now I told you I was going to show you what would we use Omniverse and Cosmos to do in the context of self-driving cars. And today, instead of showing you a whole bunch of videos of cars driving on the road, I'll show you some of that too. But I want to show you how we use the car to reconstruct digital twins automatically using AI and use that capability to train future AI models. Okay, let's play it.
I do see that. If you go to, there's a spot where
The
you can
autonomous
go to each of the
vehicle
cards.
revolution
It
is
does say
here.
January 30th for the 5090.
Building autonomous vehicles, like all robots, requires 3 computers. NVIDIA DGX to train AI models, Omniverse to test drive and generate synthetic data, and Drive AGX, a supercomputer in the car.
5070 Ti
Building
starting
safe
at
autonomous vehicles
$749.
means addressing edge
They just say coming in
scenarios.
February for the
But
5070
real
Ti and
world data
5070.
is
They
limited,
don't give a
so
specific date.
synthetic data is essential for training. The Autonomous Vehicle Data Factory, powered by NVIDIA Omniverse,
Thursday.
AI models,
Yeah, that'll
and
definitely be a
Cosmos,
Best Buy drop.
generates synthetic driving scenarios that enhance training data by orders of magnitude. First, OmniMap fuses map and geospatial data to construct drivable 3D environments. Driving scenario variations can be generated from replayed drive logs or AI traffic generators. Next, a neural reconstruction engine uses autonomous vehicle sensor logs to create high-fidelity 4D simulation environments. It replays previous drives in 3D and generates scenario variations to amplify training data. Finally, Edify 3DS automatically searches through existing asset libraries or generates new assets to create sim-ready scenes. The Omniverse scenarios are used to condition Cosmos to generate massive amounts of photorealistic data, reducing the sim-to-real gap. And with text prompts, generate near infinite variations of the driving scenario. With Cosmos Nemotron Video Search, the massively scaled synthetic dataset, combined with recorded drives, can be curated to train models. NVIDIA's AI Data Factory scales hundreds of drives into billions of effective miles, setting the standard for safe and advanced autonomous driving.
Isn't that incredible? We take thousands of drives and turn them into billions of miles. We are going to have mountains of training data for autonomous vehicles. Of course, we still need actual cars on the road. Of course, we will continuously collect data for as long as we shall live. However, synthetic data generation using this multiverse, physically based, physically grounded capability so that we generate data for training AIs that are physically grounded and accurate or plausible so that we could have an enormous amount of data to train with. The AV industry is here. This is an incredibly exciting time, super excited about the next several years. I think you're going to see, just as computer graphics was revolutionized such incredible pace, you're going to see the pace of AV development increasing tremendously over the next several years. I think the next part is robotics. So Humanoid robots. My friends, the ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner. And in fact, all of the enabling technologies that I've been talking about is going to make it possible for us in the next several years to see very rapid breakthroughs, surprising breakthroughs in general robotics. Now, the reason why general robotics is so important is whereas robots with tracks and wheels require special environments to accommodate them, there are three robots in the world that we can make that require no green fields. Brownfield adaptation is perfect. If we could possibly build these amazing robots, we could deploy them in exactly the world that we've built for ourselves. These three robots are, one, agentic robots, and agentic AI, because they're information workers. So long as they could accommodate the computers that we have in our offices, it's going to be great. Number two, self-driving cars. And the reason for that is we spent 100+ years building roads and cities. And then number three, humanoid robots. If we have the technology to solve these three, this will be the largest technology industry the world's ever seen. And so we think that the robotics era is just around the corner. The critical capability is how to
think of
train
the information
these
they can gather on you if
in
they
the
have
case
a
of
robot in
humanoid
your home.
robots, the imitation information is rather hard to collect. And the reason for that is, in the case of car, you just drive it. We're driving cars all the time. In the case of these humanoid robots, the imitation information, the human demonstration is rather laborious to do. And so we need to come up with a clever way
Red Panda.
to take hundreds of demonstrations, thousands of human demonstrations, and somehow use artificial intelligence and Omniverse to synthetically generate millions of synthetically generated motions. And from those motions, the AI can learn how to perform a task. Let me show you how that's done.
Developers around the world are building the next wave of physical, AI-embodied robots, humanoids. Developing general-purpose robot models requires massive amounts of real-world data, which is costly to capture and curate. Nvidia Isaac GR00T helps tackle these challenges, providing humanoid robot developers with four things: robot foundation models, data pipelines, simulation frameworks, and a Thor robotics computer. The Nvidia Isaac GR00T blueprint for synthetic motion generation is a simulation workflow for imitation learning, enabling developers to generate exponentially large datasets from a small number of human demonstrations. First, GR00T Teleop enables skilled human workers to portal into a digital twin of their robot using the Apple Vision Pro. This means operators can capture data even without a physical robot, and they can operate the robot in a risk-free environment, eliminating the chance of physical damage or wear and tear. To teach a robot a single task, operators capture motion trajectories through a handful of teleoperated demonstrations, then use GR00T Mimic to multiply these trajectories into a much larger dataset. Next, they use GR00T Gen, built on Omniverse and Cosmos, for domain randomization and 3D to real upscaling, generating an exponentially larger dataset. The Omniverse and Cosmos Multiverse Simulation Engine provides a massively scaled dataset to train the robot policy. Once the policy is trained, developers can perform software-in-the-loop testing and validation in Isaac Sim before deploying to the real robot. The age of general robotics is arriving, powered by Nvidia Isaac GR00T.
We're going to have mountains of data to train robots with. Nvidia Isaac GR00T Nvidia Isaac Group. This is our platform to provide technology elements to the robotics industry to accelerate the development of general robotics.
DG, I have to admit, I'm looking forward to it as well.
Well, I have one more thing that I want to show you. None of this
I
none
am
of this would
sure
be possible
there are those companies
if
that are
not
focusing
for,
on that feature.
This incredible project
Goat.
that we started about a decade ago. Inside the company was called Project Digits, Deep Learning GPU Intelligence Training System. Digits. Well, before we launched it, I shrunk it to DGX and to harmonize it with RTX, AGX, OVX, and all of the other X's that we have in the company. And it really revolutionized, DGX1 really revolutionized, where's DGX1? DGX1 revolutionized artificial intelligence. The reason why we built it was because we wanted to make it possible for researchers and startups to have an out-of-the-box AI supercomputer. Imagine the way supercomputers were built in the past. You really have to build your own facility, and you have to go build your own infrastructure and really engineer it into existence. And so we created a supercomputer for AI development for researchers and startups that comes literally one out of the box. I delivered the first one to a startup company in 2016 called OpenAI, and Elon was there, and Ilya Sutskever was there, and many of NVIDIA engineers were there, and we celebrated the arrival of DGX1, and obviously it revolutionized artificial intelligence and computing. But now artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's not just in researchers and startup labs. You know, we want artificial intelligence, as I mentioned in the beginning of our talk. This is now the new way of doing computing. This is the new way of doing software. Every software engineer, every creative artist, everybody who uses computers today as a tool will need an AI supercomputer. And so I just wish that DGX1 was smaller. And, you know, you know, imagine, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, somebody said at the beginning that jacket made him look like a magician, and he just performed a magic trick.
This is NVIDIA's latest AI supercomputer. And it's finally called Project Digits right now. And if you have a good name for it, reach out to us. Here's the amazing
Jetson
thing. This is an AI supercomputer. It runs the entire NVIDIA AI stack. All of NVIDIA software runs on this. DGX Cloud runs on this. This sits, well, somewhere, and it's wireless or connected to your computer. It's even a workstation if you like it to be. And you could access it, you could reach it like a cloud supercomputer, and NVIDIA's AI works on it. And it's based on a super secret chip that we've been working on called GB110, the smallest Grace Blackwell that we make. And I have, well, you know what? Let's show everybody inside. Money. It's just so cute. And this is the chip that's inside. It is in production. This top secret chip we did in collaboration. The CPU, the Gray CPU, is built for NVIDIA in collaboration with MediaTek. They're the world's leading SoC company. And they worked with us to build this CPU, the CPU SoC, and connect it with chip-to-chip NVLink to the Blackwell GPU. And this little thing here is in full production. We're expecting this computer to be available around May timeframe. And so it's coming at you. It's just incredible what we could do. And it's just, I think I was trying to figure out, do I need more hands or more pockets? All right, so imagine this is what it looks like. You know, who doesn't want one of those? And if you use PC, Mac, you know, anything, because you know, it's a cloud platform. It's a cloud computing platform that sits on your desk. You could also use it as a Linux workstation if you like. If you would like to have double digits, this is what it looks like. You know? And you connect it together with ConnectX, and it has nickel.
Hey, you know what, Goat?
GPU
that
Direct.
Would, if you're still here, that would fit in your mini rack.
It's like a supercomputer. Our entire
I think you need
supercomputing
one.
stack is
you
available.
need one.
And so, NVIDIA Project Digits. Okay.
Robots are back.
Let me tell you what I told you. I told you that we are in production with 3 new Blackwells. Not only is the Grace Blackwell supercomputers, NVLink 72s, in production all over the world, we now have 3 new Blackwell systems in production. One amazing AI foundational world foundation model, the world's first physical AI foundation model. It's open, available to activate the world's industries of robotics and such, and three robots working on agentic AI, humanoid robots, and self-driving cars. It's been an incredible year. I want to thank all of you for your partnership. Thank all of you for coming. I made you a short video to reflect on last year and look forward to the next year. Play, please.
Hot and cold aisles. Oh, he just wore flannel. That was awesome.
Have a great CES, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you.
I think so, Gaming with Smokey Dan. I think so. Did it just for me. Wanted to make sure I watched to the end. That was funny. That was a nice little surprise at the end. Alrighty, guys. Well, this has been a very, very long stream. I didn't expect the keynote to go that long, but appreciate you guys all being here. As I saw, and thanks to Panda for posting it, the 5090 is currently scheduled to be released on January 30th. It will be good, hopefully, that the 5080s will be coming out first, so hopefully attract more attention and get those, what normally people would just be looking to get the first thing of the new series first. That'll be good. I think that that's coming out first, and hopefully will lessen the demand for the 5090s a bit, just a bit. But I think for most gamers, I mean, really, what is going to be good is if you that they won't need the 32 gigs of RAM. They really won't need it, and that was what he was basically talking about. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I'm actually really impressed that it's only $2,000. I know only, right? But I'm surprised it's not more, which means that AIB cards will probably be like 2250 to 2300 would be my guess is where they'll start. And I'm sure there'll be some craziness that will be $2,500 when it comes out. So I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see to see what we get. And I'm curious if the other cards will be these behemoths or if they will be more like the Nvidia card where it's only going to be 2 slot. I hope they're all going to be like 2.5 slots. That would be great. That would be great. It would fit in the Octo server a lot better than my 4090s do because they're freaking huge. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for reposting it, Panda. I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Ploxlaw. Vacation day, January 30th. Yeah, I was already thinking about putting that in. Pretty sure I'll be able to get it off, though. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks again for being here. Thanks again for joining the watch party. There were definitely a lot of people here. 102 people here still. So appreciate that. And we will see you next Monday with probably more information on the Nvidia cards and more with regular content. So thanks again. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe on the way out. And otherwise, the general is out. Have a good night, everybody.